missing the handle.
Yeah.
I'm going live, guys. All right. It says we're live. So here we go. Welcome from the Crossroads of America talk show. Guns, politics, or anything else that crosses my mind. Tonight is shooting with disabilities is our main topic. Answer questions from the audience. Just put them in the chat or email me at rickslife as I see it at gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I have a Patreon page, PayPal, and all that stuff. It's all listed down there in the info section if anybody's interested. So there we go. Let's see who was in the chat. First in was G-Webs tonight. Then Then Mystic Guns 2 Live Mood, Jason Stewart. Who else is coming in? Guns and Barbecue is in there. Yeah, they're starting to trickle in. The Gun Snob. So they're all starting to trickle in now. I'll introduce my panel so far. I got Will and Well Armed. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Yep. Then I've got the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, Patriot in the Dark.
Hey, people. How you doing?
All right, then we got, he must have a night off or he's got an easy evening at work. We got the Kingpin.
What's happening, Rick? Good to be with you, man.
Yeah. And we got Guns and Barbecue. How you doing?
All right, Rick. Thank you. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Not too bad. All right. I just saw out in the chat, New York Outcast said he can't make it tonight. No problem, buddy. I understand. Southpaw RX has joined us. How you doing? Raphael's here. So there we go. All right. I talking about this, I was I was down in the diner this morning. Well, lunchtime, late morning. And I'm in there and I'm talking all these, they're all a bunch of old boys that hang out there. I'm the youngest one, and we're there I'm going, goddamn, my joints hurt. Because we're scheduled to have showers tonight and tomorrow, and it feels like 90 odd degrees outside. I'm sweating like an SOB, but my joints are hurting because I know the rain's coming. I can tell.
Right.
People laugh at me, but a doctor told me it is a scientific fact. Something to do with the atmospheric pressure will affect you like that. So that's what he told me, and I'm sticking with it. So that's what I should say. I'm sitting in the house with the AC on, trying to stay cool, and all my joints are hurting. I just know it's coming. So there we go. Well, we're meant to be getting, according to the last forecast I saw, the path that hurricane's taking, the time it gets up towards where I'm at, it just be sort of rain, but it's meant to come through this bottom half of Indiana where I'm at. So meant to get rain in the next few days. So there we go. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about was hearing protection. Is my first topic. We talked about it before on the show, but what made me bring it up? I was over my cousin's the other day, and I can understand why he's hard of hearing, because a lot of times you have to speak loud when he's around, Anyway, he was saying, I don't know how we got on the subject. Oh yeah, he was talking about his blind that he has up the back of his 20 acres there, where he's just outside the woods, and he shoots his deer from there. And actually, his blind is an old outhouse, actually. But where I was going with this is he was in there, and he goes, yeah, I was in there with my grandson last season. He said, and a deer come walking out, and he said, I shot that damn thing. I'm trying to think of what he said he used. But his grandson said, God damn, that's loud. And I said, well, didn't your grandson have hearing protection on? He goes, no. I said, did you? He goes, no. I said, why? He says, well, I need to hear. He says, you need to hear it. You need to hear it helps you hear where the deers are coming through and stuff. So the same, I said, he goes, I don't wear any when I'm squirrel hunting either. And I'm thinking, well, that's why you're hard of hearing, you know. But what I was going with is, I mean, like myself, I use electronic ones where I can hear you talk to me and all the other sounds, but if a loud noise goes off, I don't know how it does it, but magically mutes it, which I think is pretty cool. And they weren't that expensive either, but mine aren't stereo, mine are mono. So that's where I'm at. So what about you, Will and Well Armed? Do you use hearing protection?
Yeah, I use the electronic ones like you have. I've had both mono and stereo. I prefer the stereo. They have supposedly 4 speakers, and it actually helps with your hearing, and you can hear people from different directions, but you can't hear a lot of the nuances still missing, but it definitely helps.
So what do you think about not wearing any when you're out hunting, or don't? You know?
I would wear at least plugs in my ears. I mean, but if I'm with a bunch of hunters, I would have my headphones though.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the ones, the in-ear ones. You know, they got some with noise cancellation and 6 times strength that magnifies 6 times. I keep seeing them pop up on my Facebook and thinking about those, but hadn't convinced myself it's worth it.
Yeah. So, Patriot, when you're out there squirrel hunting, do you? I mean, I know you use hearing protection, don't you, down at the range?
Yeah, I do now. Because I was just thinking about that. I mean, bringing it up. When I was a kid, 22s and all that stuff, I never wore plugs. I mean, we're lucky to have shoes on when you run out the door so fast. But I do. I remember wearing safety glasses with a shotgun because I got busted in the face once with when they were on a lanyard and they kind of flipped up and hit me in the bridge of the nose. But I'm sure with like the 30-30 and things like that, I must have wore earplugs. I didn't have any electronic stuff. Obviously, that was early '80s and stuff. But I have got I now obviously I use the stereo electronic ones. Definitely have to have stereo, otherwise it does. I mean it's like I'm standing inside a tin can or something, so you don't know what direction it's coming from. But and those, you can find some that are cheap. Like I've got I got like 3 or 4 different kinds that I've kind of picked up just because when I find a pair that are stereo or have a Bluetooth connection as well, or some of them, some of the cheaper ones have like an earphone jack almost, where I guess you can plug in a music player or something.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, anytime I see them, I try to pick them up if they're stereo, just so that I can test them out. Because just like you said, there's a big difference between the companies and the amount of money you throw at them. I've got a friend that she was saying that she picked up a pair of the in-ear electronic protection, but she had got them on like a Craigslist, or they were like used, but they weren't ever used. Somebody had bought them and they didn't like them or something. So she got them, obviously cheaper because I'm sure they were around like $250 a pair or something for those. I don't know which ones they were. I want to say gold something, but I don't remember exactly. But they're the same types, especially with the separate ones. Obviously, they're going to be stereo, so you can tell where it's coming from. But as a kid, I it's hard to remember that if we used earplugs. I mean, I'm sure I had them. I'm sure I was told to wear them, but when you go off by yourself, or me and my cousins going out, just like 2 of us out there, it was, I don't know. Obviously you don't think about it back then.
I have a question. When you were in the Marines,
yeah, we had the foamy ones. I mean, that's all I remember. I'm sure Yeah, I just on the line. I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
I never.
Okay, I mean, like today's military, like when
Yeah, they
you
do.
know when they're out there in combat, are they wearing earplugs or anything?
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, they've got the. I don't know what they use now. If they're like the rubber ones, and they're not foam ones. I'm sure they got fancier ones.
I
But I don't know
remember.
because they have those that thing going on about people using ones that were faulty and stuff. But I don't know. I've been out for so long. I don't know what they would use now.
Okay.
A big class action lawsuit. I forgot the manufacturer, but those anybody
Yeah.
had the Bumblebee ones, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Kingpin, you use hearing protection?
Yeah, when I go to the range, then it's a must. One time, maybe like a year ago, we were over at the pistol side, and this was before all the Rona. So there was a bunch of people there, and I had my right side in completely, and I guess I pulled my left one out just to talk for a second and didn't put it all the way back in. And for about 2 weeks, my ears were ringing. It was bad. I thought I'd really damaged my hearing. But if you're going hunting and you're going to take one shot, maybe a second follow up shot if something goes wrong, I mean, it's not a bad idea to have them at all. It's a good idea to have them, but if you don't, I don't really think that's a major issue. Uh, but if you're going to be doing any kind of practice, then I would highly recommend some type of hearing protection.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I was. I mean, that's what I
I
think.
got something with that.
If you're out hunting by yourself and you know you're going to take a shot, I think you're more prepared for that noise. I think it gets you when you're not prepared and somebody pulls the trigger. But definitely in an indoor range, you've got to have. I remember one time I went in the indoor range, as you said, and I was just putting all my. I normally put my hearing on before I went in there. But this time, for some reason, I had them just around my neck. And when I walked through the door, oh man, somebody just pulled the trigger. I tell you, I was deaf for a week. So
the thing about, like, if you're talking about prepare, as in you see the deer and you put your headphones on and then you pull up for the shot, that's one thing. But preparing yourself for the sound doesn't do anything to protect your actual hearing.
I know that. I guess I understand that. But what I'm saying is, it's coming. That's what I'm saying. I guess it's the shock factor.
The shock factor, definitely, yeah. But as far as the fibers and the hair in your ears being damaged, then you can prepare for it all you want, and there's nothing you can do about it if there's nothing blocking that ear canal.
Now, what about let's get? I mean, I got a question to bring back on this, but let's go guns and barbecue on your input on hearing protection. Yay or nay?
It's definitely a yay. When you're at the range or something, there's really no reason not to have it. I understand sometimes you forget, been there, done that. And just something some people might not realize is if you do forget your hearing protection and you're still going to choose to shoot or be around somebody who's shooting, make sure you open your mouth. That honestly does help with how that sound reverberates. I don't know as far as protecting from nerve damage or anything, if it does anything, but right in that instant, it does make it a little bit more comfortable. Obviously, you probably be covering your ears too or something like that, but definitely open your mouth helps. But like when I'm at the range, normally I take my range bag with me or something, and I keep spare ear protection in my range bag. That way, if somebody is there and they're like, "Oh yeah, I forgot mine," well, here you go. You can go to Walmart, get the ones that have like the string connecting them and are reusable. I think I got a 3-pack for like $2 last time, and there's actually my uncle who forgot ear protection, my cousin, and then some other random guy So I was able to give each of them hearing protection, and said, keep it. I don't need it. It's $2, and hopefully they can keep it in their stuff next time and have it, because again, it's reusable. But obviously the muffs are going to be a little bit better as far as your ear protection goes. When it comes to hunting, I don't tend to worry about it too much because it's just that one shot normally, hopefully. But if you're, out small gaming in a group and, you're all chasing rabbit, you're going to have multiple shots. Some of this new hearing protection that does the auto canceling and then enhancing, I think would be a really good option.
Yeah, that was the main thing I was really getting on, is about hunting. To wear them or not to wear them. Hey,
Yeah,
Rick, in the room.
I was just going to add, my stepmom has used 2 hearing aids, so she's got kind of hard of hearing anyway. But when she was hunting, she was used to putting over earmuffs or taking out her hearing aids, and I brought her a pair of the electronic ones so that she could actually turn it up and amplify it. So if you do have damaged hearing anyways, when you can turn it up and actually hear what's going on, plus it you can hear better because it amplifies it. So she actually, we got her, or my dad got her a nice set. So
Okay.
but that's also an option, because like my stepdad, he's got hearing problems too, so he's got hearing aids. And I know that, I don't know if he actually takes them out or if he uses the electronic with it, or if that would actually mess it up. So that's something you might want to think about too, because I don't know if it's like having a magnet by a speaker or something where it gets all weird, or the microphone. So I don't know if that gives any feedback, but I'm sure they have something for that. And then because I know that the hearing aids connect to your phone and stuff now. So I know she does that with the iPhone, whatever. So I don't know if she can just take them out and then just use the muffs, take the place of them or not.
Some old boy told me, if all else fails, stick 2 empty brass casings in your ear.
Hey, when I was in the Army, we used to use cigarette butts when you forgot your hearing protection. But I wouldn't recommend it. I did get a 15% disability from my hearing loss from my time in the Army.
Yeah. Okay, now here's the next question. I was reading somewhere, and I was reading an article, and I'm thinking that can't be true. Is like, now, like if you're in a self-defense situation, right, and you have an adrenaline dump. So some people say they don't hear the shots going off, right, because the adrenaline's pumping and everything else. Well, does that mean your ears aren't getting damaged, or they are, but you just don't know it?
You just don't know it. The way I'm not a doctor, but in general, the way your hearing works is there's little tiny fibers in your ear, which are basically hair, and when sound waves go past them, they vibrate, and if they bend, then that's letting your head know that there's too much noise coming in. And if they stay bent for a long period of time, or they bend completely over, there's pretty much no chance that they're ever going to come back. And if they are completely damaged, if they are completely bent over, there's no science in the world that can fix that. You have to go with some type of electronic hearing device, whether it be a hearing aid or whatever. But when those fibers, vibrate back and forth, that's how you decipher the sound that's coming into your brain. And when those fibers are bent completely over and they don't stand back up, then you're having more and more hearing loss each time. And there's only a certain amount of those fibers in your ear. It's not fibers; they're really hairs. It's just kind of easier to describe them as fibers. And if you damage your eardrum, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, I can't remember the 7 bones in your ear, the hammer, the medulla, and I can't remember the other 5, but I had to learn them at one point in my life.
Yeah. Oh, Clover out in the chat says they are being damaged. You're just hyper-focused on other things. but the sound waves are still smacking on your inner ear.
Yeah, that's what I was
Like
about to
tunnel
say.
vision.
Is look at it like when you're hunting, you get so focused on that deer, that squirrel, that rabbit. When you fire that shot, you don't really notice. I mean, you know you hear it, but you don't notice any pain in your ear. You don't notice any ringing normally or anything after because you're so hyper focused on that animal.
Isn't it with like police officers getting like tinnitus or whatever they call that ringing in ears? Isn't that's kind of an effective?
Yeah, I mean, I have a very, like right now as I'm sitting here, I can hear a very, very, very low frequency ringing in my ears. But it's not ringing; it's a constant sort of noise in my ears.
Yeah.
And the doctor told me that is, very. I got a very slight case of and I talk loud. I don't know if anybody's noticed. I talk loud. As I can hear pretty good actually, but it's from working in a refrigerator for 30 odd years and having those fans above my head blowing cold air, the hum of them all the time.
They said I had lost a lot of hearing, but I got divorced, so I got it all back.
Okay. So anything else on hearing protection?
Yeah, I got zero high end hearing, and so when I had it tested a few years ago, and just to see if I could get some hearing aids, and they're like, until you lose the rest of your hearing, there's no hearing aid that's going to bring you back your high end hearing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, one other thing on hearing protection, I think the best hearing protection that we could get would be suppressors and, get them off the NFA, but obviously it seems to be more of a dream than anything right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's not coming anytime soon.
Well, the biggest thing for your everyday average run of the mill person is your earbuds and your music, or your, sitting at the office with a little headset on. Having that little earbud in your ear makes it good because you can't hear the noise around you and you can crank up your music all you want. But that is like laser focused on damage in your ears. You got to be super careful about your regular, average, everyday life. Just going around listening to music or your favorite radio show or Rick's Life as I See It while you're working.
When you're mowing your lawn.
Yep.
There you go.
My stepdad wears his electronic muff. I got him while he's driving around on the tractor and stuff. So it works for everything.
Yeah. Okay, here's the next question. Almost same thing, but now eye protection. Now, as everybody sees, I wear glasses. If I'm wearing contact lenses, then I will wear proper eye protection glasses that I have. But if I'm wearing these, this is all I put on. Should I put on? I mean, I do have a set of eye protection that will fit over these, but I don't like putting them on. So, I mean, what do you think? Should you still wear eye protection with glasses?
At least they're rated for safety.
I would recommend covering up your prescription glasses just because prescription glasses are expensive, and if you scratch them, something happens to your glasses. Even though it protected your eyes, well, now you still got a huge chunk of money coming out of your pocket.
And sometimes when you get prescriptions like that I always thought the safety glasses ended up being a little cheaper, and that you get a second pair that's actually rated for safety. I mean, it might not have the side shields, but
yeah,
these don't have no side shield on them.
my range said as long as you have prescription glasses on, they said they're almost up to the safety level. They just don't have the sides on it.
Yeah.
My range allows people who wear prescription glasses to use those as their protective wear. I'm just concerned about messing up your glasses. Clover.
Yeah, like I mean, it's like when the what you call it, it strikes your brass and it hits you in the eye, it hits your lens. It could scratch you if it hits it hard enough.
Yeah, and then you got to think, how am I going to focus throughout the rest of my life when I got this giant scratch or a cracked glass? Now I got to go to lens crafters and make an appointment and do all this, and it's a big hassle
But
when you could just throw something on over top.
the big thing is, though, if it's a scratch, that's one thing. You can replace your glasses, but if it shatters or it breaks the frame and it stabs you, that's a little less, good. So I think getting a pair that is either rated for safety or putting a pair over it, scratches you can deal with, but I don't know. I mean, I've seen glasses break, with
Yeah.
rocks or whatever. I mean, just lawn mowing and stuff.
Yeah.
There's a reason that you have prescription glasses that look nice, and then you have safety glasses. So I wouldn't. I mean,
I had a brass go over my prescription glasses and and just sit there on my cheek. It burned the hell out of me. I couldn't get those glasses off quick enough.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a hot brass go down the back of my shirt, but not in my face. But talking about glasses, somebody like me on prescription glasses, what I've noticed, because I mean these are progressives, so I mean basically they're like bifocals, but they don't have the line in them. Is when I'm looking down the sight, I sort of have to raise my head up so I can, use the close-up lens to see the sight. So I'm sort of looking at it, but my head's sort of slightly raised because of the way the lenses are. And I was debating whether to ask my eye doctor if I could have a pair made the other way around.
You probably just need to go in for another eye test and up your prescription.
Rick, I got a set of those. Rick,
No,
I got a set of those. I'll send them to you. I don't use them where the readers are on the top half and there's nothing on the bottom half if you want them.
Well, don't forget, these are, my regular readers ain't going to work because of my eye prescription. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but these are made for shooters where the the reader part is on the top and it's open, clear vision at the bottom. It's made for looking down metal sights. They just don't work for me.
You can get them made that way. I'm talking about where they flip, because like when you wear bifocals, normally the bottom half of your lens is for reading, the top half is for looking distance. But having what they call progressive lenses like this, there's no line. It just fades. It just fades into the other thing. I mean, when I'm looking at the keypad here, I'm looking at the bottom half of my lens. If I drop my head and look from the top part of my glasses, it's kind of, I can still read it, but it's not as clear as looking through the bottom half of my lens. So normally when I wear contact lenses, I wear lenses that I'm trying to think what they call it now. But my left eye is for distance and my right eye is for close up. It took about, I don't know, a week and a half of wearing these things for a couple of hours every day to get used to that, because it gave me a headache because one eye's looking down there and I'm not seeing. But after a while, your eyes get adjusted to it, where it doesn't make a difference. But when it came to shooting, when I lifted the gun up there and out of my dominant right eye, I mean, that focused dead on, So I'm just saying, this is some of the things you have when you have to wear glasses.
My dad's vision's a little bit like that. He doesn't have glasses, but he gets those cheap little spinny carousel reading glasses out of Walmart.
Yeah.
And only one of his eyes is weak enough to read with. So maybe you should get a monocle.
Maybe.
I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine that you could be at the range with the gold pimp gun and your monocle on? That'd be awesome.
Yeah. Well, actually, I got to go back to I mean, I've run out of contact lenses since I haven't been to the eye doctor since the COVID started. I need to, of course, my prescriptions run out now because anybody who has glasses is regular glasses like this. A prescription is good for 2 years. Contact lenses, the prescription is only good for 1 year. Don't ask me why. I never did understand that policy, but that's the way it is. And so since the COVID's been going on, my my prescriptions run out, so I got to go have another eye test. So
yeah. I had an eye doctor tell me I had the beginning of cataracts 3 years ago, and then this past year they said back in December or January they said they were setting me up for eye surgery, but then COVID came out, and so now they're rescheduling it. But I don't go through the VA; I go through private doctors this time.
Yeah. Now, so is that? I mean, that should help with your vision, though, getting rid of those cataracts, right?
Yeah. So I'll go to a non-VA optometrist or laser center to get that done.
Okay. All right. Oh, G Web says a monocle will pull the chicks too. So there we go.
Colonel Klink.
You could just do it with one contact and just squint the other eye.
Yeah.
Kind of the same idea, but it's not as cool.
Now that's strange because, as I said, I'm even though I shoot with my right hand now because of the injury, we know all this, but it's kind of strange that growing up, I mean, even now I do everything left-handed, everything, right? But I'm right eye dominant, which I find strange, So it's not so bad now because I'm shooting with my right hand that I'm, I can see it, but. It's really weird. When I was shooting left-handed, I had to turn my head slightly to do it. But it's I don't know. It's all weird to me. I don't understand it all, but as long as I can see the sight. But I think I want to go back to contact lenses because I don't know. I mean, a good example. It's hot and humid here last few days. And I have the AC blasting in my truck, and I step out my trunk and I step out the truck and the glasses steam up. You know what I'm saying? Because of the humidity. So I'm blind so I have to pull them down and look through them as I'm trying to step up on the sidewalk or whatever. So with the contacts, you don't have that problem. Then I can look cool wearing my, I can't get the brand of the sunglasses I have, but they're really cool. They're the top of the notch, top of the line.
You ever tried putting your window down before you get out of the car to see if that keeps your glasses from fogging up?
I never tried it.
I'm not saying it's going to work. It just pops into my head. Like I have no idea if there's any validity to that or not, but you could try it.
Oh yeah, my Ray-Bans, is that how you pronounce it? That's what my sunglasses are. And I wear when I got my contact lenses. So there we go.
You always try spitting on them like a scuba mask. No.
Jason says, do you wear a mask at the range just to stay safe? Or do you just stay back 6 feet from your comrades? No, I don't wear a mask and I don't stand back from anybody because my range, I am the only one that goes. I'm the only one that uses it. Nobody else ever shows up. If anybody ever shows up, they go fishing because there's a big lake there too. But I've never seen anybody at the range at all since the whole time I've been here. As I said, it's only used 4 times a year when the conservation that's what I was looking for club has 2 turkey shoots twice a year, one in the spring, one in the winter. I mean, they get about 200 to 300 contestants with these shotguns with 6-foot barrels on them. You know, I think it's totally unfair, but that's the way it's done. You know, and the top prize is a whole cow. Second prize is half a cow. You know, and it goes down that way. Then, you know, but anyway, they do that twice a year. Then the other 2 is done by the local fire department. They do 2 a year down there, one in the spring, one in the summer. The rest of the time, nobody uses the damn thing. And when I joined, I told them what I wanted to do. They said, no problem. Just, you know, you got to bring your own targets and you got to clean your mess up. That's all we ask. So that's what I do. But $10 a year, I can't complain. You know? Plus, I have a lake to go fishing in if I want to. That's so I don't need to wear a mask or anything because there's nobody there. I'm all by myself. And maybe that's, I was talking about this the other day too, is I don't go shooting as much because there's nobody around, you know, so it's nice to have somebody, you know, to shoot with. I think, like, if my cousin invites me over and I go to his house, I mean, we're spending hours and hours out there just shooting, bullshitting and shooting, you know.
How far does your range reach out to?
Oh, the range I go to is only 25 yards. Well, yeah. It's 50 yards.
Your maximum distance total at the whole place is 50 yards?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Other than that, if you'd have said 100, then I was going to start packing my stuff and you were going to have a roommate because that sounds fantastic.
No, it's about 50 yards max, you know. But then, I mean, to do that, you're going to have to be backed up to the picnic tables to be 50 yards. But that's where they shoot from. When they do the turkey shoot, they shoot the contestants are sitting on concrete when they shoot because they're the far as back as they can be. But with these 4 or 5 foot barrels on these 12 gauge shotguns, shit, the end of the shotgun's nearly touching the target anyway, you know. And they use the shell, and they supply the shotgun shells, and they're tiny little pellets, you know, smaller than BBs. I mean, they're real small. And the closest one to the X on the board wins. They put a wooden board up there. It's weird how I've never seen one before. This might be old hat to you guys out there who've lived in the country before.
I've been to a turkey shoot. It was exactly like you're explaining.
I mean, they would go in and they buy these boards. So many, you know, so much for so many boards. And they actually make their own mark on it. It could be anywhere on that board. Then when you go shoot at it, you have to aim for the mark you made. And then they got some machine they use to calculate how close your bullet is to it to see who wins.
Yeah, see, the one contest that I got to shoot in, there was a probably like a postcard size piece of paper with an X circled in the middle.
Yeah.
And then the competition that I was in, they counted how many of your BBs hit the paper, and then you got bonuses if it was inside the X circle. But then other contests were like you were saying, where you can put your mark wherever, and you know the closest to it. I mean, it's actually a pretty good time. If you get a chance to go to one, you should check it out.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched them. My cousin goes to them, you know. And it's a whole. I mean, I said there's 200 or 300. I mean, this thing goes on. It starts at like 9 in the morning, and it goes on until about 4 or 5 at night until it gets dark, because they have so many shooters, you know, doing it.
The one I've been to, everybody gets a paper plate with an X in the middle, and then but they bring their own shotgun, and they supply the shells. It's got to be a 12 gauge, I believe, and they supply the shells, and you count. The total bullets is the tiebreaker to the distance from the X.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure exactly how. I mean, I know that this board they use can only be what 8 inches by 6 inches or something. It's not very big. Then you put an X on it, and you put it, draw a circle around it, and that's your target. And they measure how close you are to the center of your X. And the ones who either dead on or whatever are the winners. You don't. They keep track. That they have some guy writing the shit down on a board who's leading. That they write their name down there, and it changes all out through the day. And and at the end of the day, whoever's closest is the winner. So, but while this is going on, they got the grills going, they're barbecuing, and they're selling fried chicken and all this kind of shit. It's quite a good day, actually. But those shotguns they use, I mean, they got 4 or 5 foot barrels on them. I mean, they're enormous. They use the special stands to barrel up when they're aiming and shit.
Yeah, that's the one that I shot. I shot the shotgun that they provided with the shells. But like Will was saying, you could also bring your own shotgun and do different competitions and bring your own shells, and there's all kinds of different competitions. There's a lot of fun.
Oh yeah. So, that's what goes on there. So how did we get onto that topic anyway? But, that day I wore hearing protection down there, and my cousin, he was there, and he was actually in the competition. And he didn't wear any hearing protection all day. And you got boom, boom, boom going off all day long. No wonder the guy's deaf. Okay, I got it. My other what was the next one? Okay, here's the next one. Is I guess it doesn't affect any of you guys. Well, it affects Patriot. Like me, my cane. I use a cane to help me walk. And I carry, maybe I use it in my right hand, but I carry on my right hand. So, I mean, if anything happens, I've got to let go of the cane, then grab my gun. So I'm sort of at a slight disadvantage, I think. Now, the reason I started using my right hand because of my left hip and my back. Because they always say you use the cane or the crutch on the opposite side of which leg is hurting you. Now I got a brand new left hip, but my back still hurts. And my right hip hurts now because I got to get a new hip on my right. So I should swap to my left. Now here comes the difficulty. When I go to my left and use it, it doesn't help my back any at all. It helps my right hip, but not my back. So I'm in a quandrum is what to do. So anyway, I said I use the cane in my right hand and I shoot with my right hand. So I'm at a disadvantage. What about you, Patriot?
I usually we'll walk in. I usually use my right hand, but I do switch, and I make a point of that just because if I'm carrying something or depending on what I'm doing, I'll use my left hand to use the cane or whatever. It's not because I'm not using it for support. I'm just, it's just the motion, and I practiced ever since I started, just so I'd walk along, and as I'm walking, I'll switch hands just to, I don't know, just to change. But having I do carry on my right side, but I don't know. I have thought about that because obviously if you're in a situation or whatever and you need to, draw your firearm. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think
No,
it's
I mean, what I'm saying is,
it's
I can
protected
stand.
almost.
I can stand without the cane. You know what I'm saying? And I can
Yeah.
step sideways if I have to without the cane. I can actually walk without the cane. I walk like an old man, real short baby steps. The reason I use the cane is for I can take normal size steps. Otherwise, without the cane, I take little short steps.
And I see it as kind of a distraction, anyways. I mean, if it's an issue, I mean, somebody coming up to me or whatever, being a blind guy, they're not thinking I'm going to be pulling out a firearm. So I can use that as a distraction, because I do switch hands. It's a light cane, anyways. It's not anything that's heavy. It's long. It's 61 inches long. But so I can switch hands, and like if I'm at the range or I'm in somewhere, I use a collapsible. So I fold it up. It's got 5 pieces. It's got elastic on the inside, so I can fold it up. And like if I'm at a counter or whatever, and I'm trying out stuff, I'll fold it up and put it in my back pocket or whatever.
Yeah.
Some people have little holsters and all that kind of stuff, but it is a distraction for people because I'm sure sighted people, they like shiny things and bells and squirrels and all that kind of stuff. So any kind of distraction can kind of help. But yeah, I carry on the same side as I use the cane most of the time.
Yeah. G-Web says, you said you do everything left-handed, and I'm saying I'm carrying it in my right. Well, I do everything left-handed, but I have to use it in my right because of my back. I mean, I've had to train myself to use my right. And, hang on. Will and Well Armed wants to speak.
Yeah, I carry my my holster on my right hand side, but my left hand is my best hand, and so when shooting double single, depending on the pistol, I generally transfer. I've been practicing, I shoot both left hand and right hand, but that double action's really hard on the right hand.
Okay, yeah.
So I that first shot I have to shoot with my left hand.
All right. Who says I'm shilling? Kingpin says I'm a shill. I wish I was,
Hey, I wish you were too, man.
Hey, if anybody wants to tell me to give me stuff to sell, I'll do it in a heartbeat. So, yeah. So, hang on. I lost my picture. Oh, here it is. Okay, sorry. All right. Yeah. So, but actually, talking about being left-handed, here again, a good example. Like, I have to. I got a trash. I have trash pickup now. I don't have to go down and dump anymore. But they give me a big giant 93-gallon wheelie bin, is what I call it. Big trash can with wheels on it. And I can tip it up and I'll walk it down the driveway to the end of the drive every Tuesday afternoon because it gets picked up Wednesday morning. But where I was going with this, I pull it and I can push it, and I don't need the cane because the wheelie bin gives me my balance, what I'm looking for, something steady. But where I was going with this is, but when I'm walking down the driveway, I'm carrying that. I'm not using the cane, but I'm carrying it in my left hand, even though I use it in my right hand when I'm walking. I said I just automatically go straight to the left hand all the time. So, and here you go. Hope none of you, everybody put their knives and forks down and their sandwiches down. I said I used to do everything left-handed. When I damaged my hand, and it was immobile for 8 weeks because it had pins in it and I wasn't allowed to move it at all. I had to learn to wipe my butt with my right hand. Now, if you guys are right-handed, try doing it with your left. It takes, it ain't easy. So I just thought I would just mention that. Oh, Guns and Barbecue's back. So you missed some of the chat, didn't you?
Yeah, I missed a little bit.
No problem. No problem. I was talking about canes. Do you use a cane at all?
Yeah, that's why my little one's crying right now, because he had my blind cane and I had to take it from him.
Okay. Now, what hand do you use it in?
I use it in my right hand.
You carry on the right side?
Yeah, but I don't keep my elastic band around my wrist. That way, if I do have to, for some reason, draw my concealed carry weapon, I can just drop the cane and go right after my sidearm.
Well, that's the same with me. I don't use it either. I mean, I can let go of the cane and to be able to pull my gun. But I'm saying there's that extra, fraction of a second that, I have to let go, then grab my shirt, lift it up to pull the gun out, And actually, I'm thinking of going to a cross draw holster because the arthritis in my right shoulder is getting worse. I got to talk to the doctor about it. I don't know if there's anything they can do. Can they go in there and scrape the joint out or something? Because it hurts. So, I mean, to pull my shirt up, or even I'm wearing outside, to grab that, to grab that gun hurts. I mean, it actually hurts me to grab it to pull it out, And so I was thinking of going for a cross draw. That way I can go that way, and it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad option. Have you thought about anything like a chest rig or anything like that?
Yeah, I have. But I don't want to be. I know you're allowed to carry open here in Indiana, with a pistol permit, but I don't want to be that. I mean, I don't mind it being on my hip and somebody seeing it, but I don't want to cross my chest. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm being silly, but that's the way I feel, So now I do have for the, from the cooler months, I do have one of those. Oh, look, he's carrying concealed vests I wear, which has the thing on the inside, sort of like a, inside the actual vest. It has a holster on the right side and the left side, so I could go either way. I use that during the fall and winter. It's not so bad. And normally what I do is I'll put it in. Normally what I do is I'll put it in the right. A lot of times I'll put it on the right and pull it out with my left, because I said I'm naturally left-handed. So when I pick it up, I automatically go that way when I need to grab it and go this way. It's I said it's getting so bad I can't. I mean, I don't know if, and we can see me on the camera here, but I can barely. I mean, like my left hand, I can bring it all the way around up here and touch my right shoulder. My right hand, I can't get it up to touch my left shoulder. I mean, that's how bad the arthritis is getting in there. So there we go. So I don't know. All these issues, this is all part of being disabled. You know what I'm saying? Not only disabled, old age also doesn't help. But in my mind, I still only feel about 25, to be quite honest with you. But my body says, hell no, you're not. So there we go. So that's my situation as a disabled shooter, is I have all these extra things I have to think about. Oh, Angelina, you need a nurse? Is that were you meant to say nurse there? Then yeah, I do need a nurse. You want to be my nurse? Come on over. No, my luck, I'll call up and say I don't know if my insurance will cover having a nurse come in. But normally if they did, they're more likely some guy, some big butch guy to come in, So I don't know. I don't get any good luck. You guys got anything else you want to talk about? It's almost 8:00. I know I got to do the quiz.
Everybody needs to go over to Patreon and support Rick, and that way Angelina can come over and be his nurse.
Yes. That's what we need. Well, all right. Where's my thing? Okay, my quiz. This is for a Maryland quiz. This is for get it in by Saturday lunchtime for our swag pack. And what I wanted to know is quite easy, I think. In the movie The Last of the Mohicans, the guy that played Nathaniel Pope, I think that was the character's name in the movie. In other words, his nickname was Hawkeye. I wanted to know what was his main firearm. That's the question. What firearm did he use in the movie? So there you go. Email me at rickslifeasIseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. So Jacob S. I've never heard of that movie. Oh, come on. Everybody's seen that movie or read the book. So
Jacob's kind of a young guy.
When did that movie come out? It was back in the 90s?
Yeah, I think he's younger than that.
Yeah, so okay. Well, go on. I'm sure you can find it on Netflix, or one of those streaming channels. So, good movie, actually. It really is. I think so. But I mean, but anyway, so that is the question. So get that into me by 12 noon Eastern time, the only time zone that matters, on Saturday, and you'll be in a chance for the quiz. So there we go. You guys got anything else you want to talk about? I got some topics for Saturday already, so I'm making a good start today. All right,
I got something real quick.
I've decided I think I'm going to throw some burgers on the grill tonight. I got some hamburger buns, got some lettuce, got some homegrown tomatoes, and onions. I'm good to go. Put a couple of burgers on there and make some big giant, what did we used to call them in the old days? Hamburger deluxe with everything on it. No cheese, of course. If I wanted a cheeseburger, I would have said a cheeseburger. I said a hamburger. No, we're not going to go down that road again either. But there we go. I do eat. I said normally Wednesdays, I normally have grilled cheese sandwiches. See, so I do eat cheese. But tonight I'm having burgers with no cheese. So,
What was the name of your movie one more time for the quiz?
The Last of the Mohicans.
The Last of the Mohicans?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Jacob was asking out in the chat.
Okay.
In Hawkeye, it's what gun did Hawkeye have in Last of the Mohicans?
Yeah. Yeah. So there we go. All right. Let me go through my panel here for any shout outs or plugs. Let's start with Willed and Well Armed.
Yeah, this week there was a community challenge going out. It was started out by Affordable Armory, and he challenged Riders Range, and Riders Range put me on his list. And I challenged two of the panelists here, both Kingpin and Guns and Barbecue. Were two. I actually challenged four people. The other two were Gizzard Gary and G23. But anyway, look forward to hearing your picks.
Yeah, I've seen Guns and Barbecue's video, and I've seen Gizzard Gary's too. So.
Good. I hadn't been on today, so I'll go check them out right now.
All right. Patriot, any shout outs or plugs?
Oh, just have fun with your kids if you got kids, and pray that we can throw them back to school soon.
Oh
They
yeah.
need some socializing. But yeah,
I
just
think we should just, as well, everybody knows my what you call it on this. Just let's go for it, and because as we all say, but they never publicize it. Your recovery chances are 99.9% chance you're going to survive the COVID, unless you have some real dire underlying issue that is killing your immune system. So that's my thing on it. That's my take on it anyway. Yeah. Talking about that before I move on to Kingpin. When I was down the diner today, I said the old boys were all talking down there. I'm finally in the clique. They actually include me in their conversations now. So, but they were trying to get to know me some more, and they were talking about medications, and they asked me what I take or how many I take. So I told them. I said, oh yeah, and I said one of them. I said I've been on hydrochloroquine. I said for 5 years now because of my arthritis. They go, oh yeah. I said, yeah. They go, oh, we can cough all over you and you'll be safe then, huh? I said, absolutely. I believe in it. So anyway, Kingpin.
Yeah, you should have told him, yeah, I'll be safe, but you guys won't if you cough in my face. Have a good night, Rick. Thanks for having me, man. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here. Guns and Barbecue. So when you going to get a mare's leg 44?
Well, right now I've got a Dan Wesson specialist on layaway because the shop I enjoy going to, the one hand's a dick, and I walk in there when I got that mare's leg 22, he's like, well, before you get that, you haven't seen this. I'm like, oh, this is going to be something really good. So, that day I ended up picking up that mare's leg and putting that specialist on layaway. So sometime after I get that Dan Weston specialist off of layaway.
Okay.
But
now, I mean, seeing that, I was thinking, maybe that might be my next gun on my list. Is mare's leg. Kind of interests me. Yeah,
they're a lot of fun.
So, anyway. All right. I want to say thank you to everybody for being here. I really do appreciate it. I'll be back again on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern. As we know, the only time zone that matters. And so I want to say thank you for the crowd for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I might not have answered all your questions in there, but I do read the chat. And I said before, sometimes the time my talkative panel, finally, I can get a word in edgeways. The subject is changed about 8 times. So it's hard to go back on a topic with these guys. You know what I'm saying? So I do apologize I didn't get your thing, but I do read most of them. All right. I want to say thank you, and I will see you all on... oh, man. I've lost my what you call it. Oh, Jesus Christ. I've lost my screen for shutting the damn thing down. Oh, there it is. I got it. End stream. Here we go. All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye, Sabrina.